What if a man could steal a billionaire's identity and nobody ever knew? How far will he go to become someone else?
Everybody should have one talent. What's yours?
Impersonating practically anybody?
It's the late 1950s. A young man, Tom Ripley, meets a wealthy couple, the Greenleafs.
Tom Ripley?
How do you do?
We're at Princeton. Most likely you'll know our son, Dick.
He had rented a Princeton University jacket, and they assumed he was their son Dickie's classmate. Ripley is poor and works odd jobs. Mr. Greenleaf offers him $1,000 to persuade his spoiled son Dickie.
Persuade my son to come home? I'd pay you $1,000.
The young man is currently squandering his fortune in Italy. Dickie loves jazz, and Tom memorizes popular hits to gain his trust.
My funny Valentine.
My funny Valentine.
At an Italian terminal, Tom meets socialite Meredith and, for some reason, introduces himself as Dickie Greenleaf.
Meredith Randall.
Dickie Greenleaf.
Hello.
Meredith recognizes the wealthy family's name and is intrigued. Tom immediately makes up stories about his life.
My father wants me back in New York, so I travel under my mother's name.
He arrives in the seaside village of Montebello, learns some Italian, and follows Dickie and his girlfriend as they stroll through town. Wearing lime green swimming trunks, Tom approaches the beach and pretends to recognize Dickie Greenleaf.
Dickie Greenleaf?
Who's that?
It's Tom.
They supposedly studied together at Princeton. The couple finds the pale young man amusing.
Well, you should come and have lunch with us before you go, yes?
Tom soon learns that Dickie has an Italian mistress, Silvana. That's why he's late for breakfast with Marge.
Hold on to.
I hate you.
But Tom Ripley is already keeping her company. Dickie wonders what talents the bespectacled newcomer has.
Forging signatures, telling lies, impersonating practically anybody.
Tom proves it immediately by flawlessly mimicking Dickie's father.
Oh, jazz, let's face it, it's just insolent noise.
This both entertains and unsettles Dickie. Marge is also astonished. Tom then reveals that Mr. Greenleaf had hired him to bring Dickie home.
I'm never going back.
Dickie is furious. He has no intention of returning. Tom prepares to say goodbye to the couple, but accidentally drops some records from his bag.
You like jazz? Love jazz.
To their surprise, both young men share a passion for vinyl records and even the same artists. This gives them an excuse to go together to Naples.
Okay, we're going to Naples.
Tom enjoys it here far more than his bed-bug-infested apartment back in New York. Tom is also invited on stage to join the fun, and Dickie even kisses him on the cheek. The next morning, Dickie types a letter. He always types, never handwrites. He's decided Tom will act as a double agent and help him extort more money from his father.
What if we were to buy a car with your expense money?
With the first $1,000 of allowance, they'll buy either a car or at least a refrigerator. Dickie sets Tom up in his house. Tom practices imitating Dickie's voice while trying on his expensive watch.
Marge, you like everybody.
Tom also grows closer to Marge. While out walking, they buy fruit from Silvana, Dickie's mistress.
Per favore, arance e pane.
Ripley spends nearly every waking moment with Dickie. He avoids talking about his shabby New York life and never admits he owns just one shirt.
Melinda says you wash out the same shirt every night. Is that true?
No, I have more than one shirt.
He also notices that Dickie's handwriting is childish and full of mistakes, but most importantly, he now knows Dickie's signature. Later, the two men play chess, while Dickie relaxes in the bath. At one point, Tom asks to join him in the tub.
I'm cold. Can I get in?
No.
Dickie refuses, but the request leaves an uncomfortable tension hanging in the air. Meanwhile, Mr. Greenleaf is running out of patience and demands his son return home for Thanksgiving. But Dickie and Tom are too busy enjoying themselves. They travel to Rome, where they're joined by Freddie Miles, a flamboyant and outspoken friend of Dickie's.
Federico! ¿Cómo stai? Bene!
Freddie's presence immediately overshadows Tom, stealing Dickie's full attention. Feeling rejected, Tom wanders the streets of ancient Rome alone. When he eventually returns to Montebello, he tries on Dickie's clothes and parades around the villa, but Dickie catches him. Instead of being amused, Dickie is annoyed by Tom's audacity.
I wish you'd get out of my clothes.
Freddie also treats Tom with open disdain, mocking his awkwardness.
You live in Italy, you stay at Dickie's house,
Marge notices Tom's mood and gently explains that Dickie is a passionate man who easily gets bored of people and moves on to new companions.
When you have his attention, you feel like you're the only person in the world. That's why everybody loves him.
That night, Dickie and Marge make love in their cabin while Tom secretly spies on them.
Tommy, how's the peeping?
Only for Freddie to catch him and ridicule him further. Silvana stands sadly on the shore as the trio watches a Christian ceremony attended by the entire village. Suddenly, a woman's body floats to the surface. It's Silvana. She has committed suicide. Dickie can barely hold back his tears and is furious.
I'll go see what's the matter.
I'll go.
Later, he confesses to Tom that Silvana had been pregnant with his child.
She was pregnant, did you know that?
And that's why she took her own life. He admits he was reluctant to give her money for an abortion. Ripley tells him that this is now their shared secret, and he intends to keep it. In another letter, Mr. Greenleaf informs Tom that he's cutting off his funding since he has been unable to influence his son in any way. Dickie is also ready to say goodbye to Tom, calling him a Four Eyes and saying it's time for him to return to his worthless life.
Find somewhere new to keep the boat.
We could say goodbye in style.
But before parting ways, they decide to attend the jazz festival in San Remo together. Tom feels more than just friendship for Dickie, but Dickie finds him unsettling. At the festival, Dickie presses Tom about whether he really went to Princeton and whether he actually likes jazz. He even bets Marge that Tom is lying. And Dickie wins the bet. Tom had been pretending and lying the whole time. The next day, Dickie rents a boat to explore the area and takes Tom along. Ripley shares his plans to move there, so he and Dickie can rent a house together and stay close. But Dickie reveals that he plans to marry Marge, and he's actually glad Tom is leaving.
I love Marge.
You love me. You're not marrying me.
Tom, I don't love you.
No, I don't mean that as a threat.
He accuses Tom of clinging to him like a leech and says he can be unbearably boring. Ripley counters by throwing all of Dickie's flaws back at him: his infidelity, his inconsistency, and his refusal to admit that he's gay.
The funny thing is, I'm not pretending to be somebody else, and you are.
Enraged, Dickie slaps Tom, mocks him, and prepares to start the boat's engine.
Who are you to say anything to me? Who are you?
Tom strikes him in the face with an oar. Blood spurts from the wound and stains the boat.
Oh, God.
A violent struggle follows, and Tom beats his beloved Dickie to death.
Stop!
Tom finally sinks the body, along with the boat. He then returns to Mangiabello and immediately types a letter in Dickie's name, easily forging his signature. Tom lies to Marge, telling her that Dickie has decided to go to Rome. He asks her to give him perfume, along with a letter, and also to pack his saxophone and some clothes. To Marge, it looks like Dickie has chosen to abandon them. He's such a fickle man. Marge reads the letter and truly believes Dickie has gone to Rome alone. She blames herself, thinking she pushed him away by pressuring him with talk of marriage.
I just might have scared him off.
Meanwhile, Tom checks into 2 hotels in Rome at the same time, one under the name Dickie Greenleaf and the other under his own. He cleverly exploits the fact that Dickie's passport photo isn't very clear, calling from both hotel rooms and leaving messages to make it sound as if the 2 men are still alive and communicating. At the Gucci store, Tom runs into Meredith again.
I know about you and Marge.
She happens to know Freddie Miles, who told her about Marge and Dickie's relationship. But Tom convinces her that they've broken up.
I've left Marge, Meredith, and Manji.
To Meredith, Tom isn't Tom Ripley at all. He's Dickie Greenleaf. At the bank, Tom collects money orders made out to Dickie and has a custom suit tailored. Meredith flirts with him and even invites him to the opera. Here, Tom doesn't have to pretend. He genuinely loves the opera, and the story unfolding on stage resonates with him deeply. In the foyer, Tom unexpectedly runs into Marge and her friend Peter.
Tom!
Marge, how are you?
Thinking quickly, he slips off Dickie's rings and puts on his own glasses, shifting back into Tom Ripley. Marge is surprised to see him in Rome and remains unsettled by her boyfriend's strange behavior. They nearly cross paths with Meredith, but Peter intervenes, showing interest in Tom and arranging to meet him the next day. To avoid suspicion, Tom sneaks Meredith out of the opera. He tells her he saw Marge and left to avoid a jealous confrontation.
It's like Marge is here right now. I look at you and I see her face.
Later, he walks Meredith home and sets up another date with her at the exact same cafe where he's scheduled to meet Peter and Marge. In a brilliant stroke of manipulation, Tom orchestrates the meeting so that Meredith openly talks about her romance with Dickie Greenleaf.
Do you know Dickie?
Yes, I was there. I was there with Dickie.
With one move, he deceives both women and protects his secret. Tom had set up the meeting. It was a bit cruel. Embarrassed, Meredith left the cafe, and Tom quickly rushed in to meet Marge and Peter. He acted outraged at Dickie's supposed swinish behavior.
I feel guilty. Marge doesn't understand this, but whenever Dickie does something, I feel guilty.
After that, Marge decided to leave Rome. By Christmas, Tom Ripley had grown accustomed to his new rich and secluded lifestyle. He even managed to settle into a luxurious apartment. But one day, his idyll was interrupted by Freddie Miles.
It's Freddie. Let me in.
Who hadn't seen Dickie in a long time, but knew he was living there. Freddie's sharp instincts immediately kicked in. He noticed the new piano and sensed something was off. He thought, no, Dickie would never live in a place like this. He knew his friend too well and realized Tom was definitely hiding something.
Something's going on.
The landlady didn't help matters. She carelessly called Tom.
Ciao, Dickie.
Suspicious, Freddie prepared to leave, but Tom panicked. He struck Freddie on the head with a sculpture. A few more blows, and Freddie was dead, joining Dickie in the afterlife. Breathing heavily, Tom dragged Freddie's heavy body to the convertible and dumped it on a random street. The next day, the police arrived to take his statement about the previous night.
What time did Sr. Miles leave yesterday?
Mr. Greenleaf was reported as the last person to see Freddie Miles alive. For now, Tom was forbidden from leaving Rome. Paranoia began to consume him. He thought he saw Dickie on the street and ended up crashing his moped. Around this time, Marge arrived.
Marge, when did you get here?
Tell me the truth. Did he kill Freddie?
She was convinced her lover had killed Freddie. She pointed out that every time she went looking for Dickie, she somehow found Tom instead. Tom offered to take her to her fiancé, but when he spotted the police outside his apartment, he quickly dropped her off nearby and circled back. Reporters swarmed the building, and the inspector questioned him further about Tom Ripley. The inspector explained that a sunken boat had been found in San Remo.
A little boat is found in San Remo.
The same one stolen back in November by two Americans. He asked if Dickie had a photo of Mr. Ripley, noting that no one had seen him since San Remo, except for Dickie himself. Before leaving, the inspector invited Tom to help identify Ripley. A witness had come forward claiming she saw two men getting into Freddie Miles's car. After Marge tried to enter her fiancé's apartment, Tom refused to open the door.
You've broken my heart, and I don't know why.
He then typed a letter to himself, disguised as Dickie, in which Dickie supposedly confessed to Freddie's murder and called Tom his spiritual brother. The letter also claimed that Tom would have been a better son for Mr. Greenleaf. It was time for the young man to become Tom Ripley again. After packing his belongings, he narrowly avoided being caught by the police. Tom then traveled to Venice, where he met Peter. There he learned of rumors suggesting that Dickie had killed Tom.
Oh, you know that Dickie murdered you and is traveling under your passport.
Together, Tom and Peter went to the local police. An investigator arrived from Rome. Luckily for Tom, it was a different one. The first investigator had been dismissed from the case after failing to focus on Dickie Greenleaf when he was the prime suspect. The stern inspector bluntly asked Tom if he was homosexual and then immediately demanded to know if he had killed Dickie Greenleaf and Freddie Miles.
No, I did not kill Freddie Miles and then kill Dickie Greenleaf. Is he accusing me?
Outraged, Tom denied the accusations. Afterward, the inspector handed him a letter to read, Dickie's supposed suicide note, which, of course, was fake. Tom pretended to be angry and confused. Soon after, he was enjoying himself at Peter's mansion, completely unbothered by guilt. He began making advances toward Peter, who didn't seem opposed, even suggesting they might bathe together. Everything appeared to be going according to Tom's plan. Later they met Marge at the station. She wasn't exactly thrilled to see Tom. Dickie's father was expected to arrive the next day, and he had hired a private detective. The detective discovered that
Dickie cashed checks for $1,000 the day before he disappeared.
Peter then rented an entire house for Tom, while Marge stayed with him for the time being. She couldn't help but notice how much Tom had changed in such a short period. The next morning, they met with Mr. Greenleaf. He insisted on speaking to Tom alone, seeing him as his only ally regarding his son.
I'm learning about my son, Tom.
You know, Mr. Greenleaf said, They say you can't choose your parents, but unfortunately, you can't choose your children either. That night, Tom had a nightmare about killing Dickie. Later, Marge and Peter returned from a walk. When they were alone, Peter quietly suggested that Tom should come to him later. After Marge had left, Tom hands him the house key. While Tom is taking a bath, the girl finds Dickie's rings on him.
Marge, come,
Tell Mr.
Marge,
Greenleaf. I have to tell Mr.
You're being
Greenleaf.
hysterical.
He promised ring.
Stop!
Tom asks for a moment to get dressed and starts looking for something to defend himself with. He chooses a straight razor. Marge is about to leave, but Tom stops her. She senses danger radiating from him.
Marge, where are you going?
As he moves closer, he accidentally cuts his hand on the razor blade. Leaning against the door, she begins to cry and shake.
Marge, can I hold you?
Tom is about to stab her, but Peter saves her. Later, Tom admits he doesn't understand why she was so afraid of him. Tom then goes to see Mr. Greenleaf. The private detective and Marge are already there. The rings he found significantly changed the case. He gets straight to the point. It turns out that no Tom Ripley actually studied at Princeton. He only tuned a piano there. Still, there are no formal complaints against him. The detective reveals that, as a student, Dickie nearly killed another man out of jealousy. Tom also learns that the drowned woman was pregnant, suggesting it likely wasn't suicide. It turns out that Dickie had switched and hidden Freddy's car's route numbers, which means he was responsible for Freddy's death after all. Mr. Greenleaf interprets his son's letter as a veiled request to transfer a significant sum of money to Tom's account.
He also intends to transfer a good portion of Dickie's income from his trust into your name.
Essentially payment for his loyalty and silence. However, he failed to deceive Marge.
No, you killed Dickie! I know!
In the 1950s, men weren't inclined to listen to women, and Greenleaf dismisses her concerns as simple hysteria. Tom travels to Athens with Peter, and for a time, everything seems fine. But Meredith and her friends are traveling on the same ship.
Hello, Meredith.
She immediately approaches Dickie Greenleaf. Despite everything, the girl still harbors feelings for him, and Tom kisses her. Peter witnesses the kiss and becomes jealous of her boyfriend.
Dickie and Peter together, that's just too good gossip.
Ripley begins lying again, alternating between claiming to be Tom and then Dickie. He is confused. He admits he always believed it was better to pretend to be someone than to be nobody at all. Later, he lies down next to Peter and asks her to tell him what was good about Tom Ripley, wrapping a scarf around his arm. Alone on the bed, Tom remembers strangling Peter and sobs loudly. He has killed another man. Whoa. Tom Ripley sure knows how to keep things complicated. If this wild ride kept you hooked, smash that like button and don't miss out on more crazy stories popping up on your screen right now.